Welcome to Wednesday Night Women Catching, where I give you the business on the women's. Now, here is a moment that you all have been waiting for. I know it is the moment that I show you and I tell you about pickup lines and how it is important to make sure that your game is on point with these pickup lines, okay? So right now we are about to go through a session on pickup lines. We made it. You know, you got the clothes together, you know what you're supposed to wear, you know what type of women you're supposed to go after, you know the do's and the don'ts of dating. Let's go ahead and learn how to approach the women. So without further ado, let's jump right on in with this. Pickup lines. What's the point, right? Everyone uses pickup lines. It doesn't matter what type of pickup line you use. When you first walk up to a woman, you are going to say something, and that first line is a pickup line. Now, what is the point of a pickup line? The point of a pickup line is to initiate conversation in order to push the interaction into a romantic situation. So if you're using a pickup line, you're more than likely interested in the woman that you are talking to. Now, why are pickup lines so important? Pickup lines are so important because it is the first impression that you are giving a woman. It is the opportunity for you to either be rejected or for you to be allowed to continue to cultivate a relationship with this new person that you are seeking to engage. Studies show that women value certain traits in a man over other traits. And depending on the type of pickup line that you choose to use when you're initiating this first contact, depending on that, it shows what type of relationship you're looking for, and it also shows what type of person you are. Now, why is this important to you? This is important because depending on the type of relationship you're looking to have with this woman, depends on the type of interaction that you should make, the type of pickup line that you choose to use. I know a lot of guys just kind of randomly say things to women when they're going to pick up women, and they don't really understand the psychology behind the words that they are using when they're trying to pick these women up. So it is of the utmost importance for you to understand your words when you're using them and trying to pick up a woman. A woman looking for a long-term relationship is looking for someone who's going to provide some type of safety for her, who's going to be a provider himself, and just very trustworthy, honest, consistent, loyal, those types of traits, right? Now, these traits are way more important to a woman that's looking for a long-term relationship than someone who's looking for just a short-term relationship. A woman that's looking for a short-term relationship would value attractiveness or untrustworthiness over loyalty and, just a really tight connection. Now, I hear you back there like, what? A woman looking for a short-term relationship, it honors or is looking for a man who is untrustworthy? Yes, especially if she's already in a relationship. If you're untrustworthy, that means you're willing to break boundaries. You're willing to be immoral, which means if she's in a relationship, you would be okay with her being in a relationship and still interacting with her and creating some type of connection with her. A woman that is already in a relationship more than likely is looking for a short-term type of thing. So it would be super important to her that you are not overly religious, so to speak, in the moral factor, because if you are too high on your moral standards, that means that you won't even interact with her, you won't engage with her, and she can't get from you what she wants. So as a woman that is looking for a short-term relationship or just a fling or an affair, yes, that woman would definitely value attractiveness and disloyalty, or not disloyalty, but untrustworthiness. She would value those things over, say, reliability or your ability to provide for her. Now, let's bring that back home. Remember I said that your words, your open line decides whether or not she's going to reject you or let you in. And that depends on what she is looking for. If she's looking for a long-term relationship, there are certain types of pickup lines that will work with her that demonstrate certain values or traits about yourself. The same thing with a woman that's looking for a short-term relationship. Certain words that you say, certain cues that you give her lets her know that you are the type of person that she needs to be with for the goal that she has, which would be a short-term relationship, some type of fling, or an affair. So your words, your pickup line, the one you choose, can reflect a certain warmth. It can reflect a reliability, a consistency. It can reflect the lack thereof of the traits that we just discussed. So make sure that you understand that in this dating game, it is more important for you to make sure that you are being very intentful, very, very strategic about the way that you are approaching a woman and the words that you are using. Because guess what? Yes, I understand that you don't understand or you don't think that is important, but mentally, the underlying, the subconscious, the psychology behind the words that you use are very important because we, as humans, we are survivors by nature. We look for the types of traits and things that we want in certain people subconsciously, and it indicates certain things to us. So yes, your words are very important. The pickup line that you choose to use on a particular woman is so important. One key thing to remember is that your pickup lines and your energy to the situation is definitely an investment, okay? You are investing with your words. It's the first part of yourself that you're offering to a woman. So if you are looking to secure a woman, you're looking to pick one up, you're looking to catch her, because this is, Wednesday night women catching. If you're looking to catch one, then you are looking to invest. I need you to understand that because a lot of men, they go out, they start dating and they forget that they are investing. So they just kind of throw their fishing lines anywhere. We talked about the analogy of the fish in the sea. When you go out and you initiate conversation, that is equivalent to you as a fisherman throwing your line out in the water to try and hook something and bring it back. What you don't want to do is go to the wrong pond, okay? Because as a fisherman, it can be very tiring. It can be very taxing on you to always be putting out that energy or making that initial contact and not getting what you want, or two, being rejected. These things can have a really negative effect on the psyche. And in a long term, it can really deter you from going out and getting what you want. It can put a damper on you and really make you feel like you can't get what you want. So you have to be strategic about what it is you're going after and how you're going to go after it. So being strategic about the type of lines you use and the type of women you go after, right? Doing this will make sure that you do not end up a bitter man over time, a woman hater. I know y'all seen them. And it also ensures that you don't end up with women that are going to use and misuse you and abuse you, okay? So this is important. You got it? All right, let's move on. Now, let's get into the lesson. I'm going to teach you 3 types of pickup lines, okay? Now, right now, I'm going to teach you 3 types. When this video is over, when this lesson is over, you can head over to the website, and in the extended version of this video, I'm going to give you examples, tons of pickup lines that you can use that help to convey the type of message that you want to convey. But right now in this lesson, I am going to share with you 3 different types of pickup lines, and I'm going to give you examples of them, okay? So the first pickup line that you can use is called a flip it line. And this type of pickup line it's a humorous, type of line, and it's very flirtatious, and it has sort of a sexual undertone, a sexual sentiment. Like, for example, and this is a bad example, so do not use this. Please don't use this line. A bad example of a flip it line is, can I get a picture of you so that I can show Santa what I want for Christmas? No. Stop it. Stop it. You do not want to use lines like that. Okay? Because what this line indicates about you is that you are, one, not very reliable. You're very promiscuous, not very intelligent, and, it shows that you're a little selfish, because all you're really thinking about, or the only message you're conveying through the line, is that you are thinking about her attractiveness, what she looks like, what you can get from the situation. So a flip it line, yes, it's humorous. Yes, it shows that you're funny, and it shows that you're sociable, but it also shows the promiscuousness or of, you, and, like you would use this line on anyone. It's not very individualistic. This is a type of line that you could use on anyone, and a woman knows it, okay? She might laugh, but 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to be rejected. Unless this woman is looking for a short-term relationship. Now, if this person is looking for a long-term relationship, more than likely, this is not the type of pickup line that's going to go over on a woman like that, okay? Now, just in case you're confused, let me give you another example, something that I heard before. I can't exactly remember the wording of it, but it's something to the effect of, you've been running, oh, girl, are you tired? Because you've been running around in my mind all day. What? No, stop it. This type of line shows no creativity, which equates to low intelligence, and it's just very, like, raunchy. Well, not raunchy, but just very, it's not going to attract the woman you want. Let's just say that. Okay. Now, the second type of pickup line is a direct line. Direct lines are lines that indicate intent, and intent to start up a romantic relationship, that is. But it also shows, like honesty, like sincerity, okay? So these types of pickup lines are, pretty good. They might sound a little cheesy sometimes, but I think a little cheese every now and then is okay. An example of a direct line would be something like, I saw you from across the room and I just knew I had to come over and speak to you. This line shows confidence. It shows interest, and it shows that you're not afraid to approach. Now, there is some risk to using a direct pickup line, because there is room for rejection. Not every woman you approach is going to want you back. So, unless you're being strategic, remember, you're picking out the ones that you like, that, anyway. But there is room for rejection. So you are definitely making yourself wide open when you use a direct line, okay? Now, this brings me to the last type of pickup line that you can use when you're trying to engage with a woman, which is an indirect line, which is also called an innocuous type of line, okay? And this type of line it's indirect, as it said is in the name, and you're basically testing the water. You're trying to reach out, but make sure that you're like hiding the true nature or the true intent behind approaching her in the first place. And it also serves to pacify a possible rejection. So it kind of looks like, low confidence, but it does work. It does leave you space to be rejected and not feel so low after the rejection. It leaves a little buffer room for you to make your pitch, but to also be rejected and not be just completely thrown to the floor with the rejection. Okay. And an example of a pickup line that is innocuous or indirect would be something like, hey, do I know you? You look familiar. Have we met before? Something like that. It's very subtle. It does allow for a connection to be made, but the problem with this type of pickup line is, like, after you say this line, it doesn't really show the woman that you're interested. So you have to go an extra mile. You have to, like, continue to put yourself out there in order to show her that you're even romantically interested. Because I could walk up to a woman and say the exact same thing. Hey, you look familiar. Have we met before? And it doesn't mean anything, you know? But let's take one of the other two pickup lines. The first one, you know, you've been running around in my mind all day. If I said that to a woman, she's going to look at me crazy. If she's straight, if she's a heterosexual woman, she's going to look at me like, you're losing it a little bit. Please back off. So with the indirect pickup line, it does shield you a little bit, but it also makes you work a little bit harder. Okay. Now, to help you understand a little bit more about the difference between the different types of pickup lines you can execute, let's look at a few things that study shows. Now, I've wrote down a few things. I don't want to miss anything. So the first point that I want to talk about as far as studies are concerned, so studies show that direct and indirect, so the direct ones where you're like, hey, you know, I had to come over and speak to you, that's direct. Or the indirect of, you know, hey, do you like the band? Now remember, the indirect ones can be used with any sex. So if you're confused about whether or not your execution is direct or indirect, ask yourself, if a man asked you the same thing and you're a heterosexual male, would it throw you off, or would it just be a question you would answer? You know, so that could help you. But study shows that direct and indirect lines are more effective than the flip it lines or the humorous, flirtatious lines with the sexual undertone. Okay. Studies show that indirect lines are more bought into than direct lines, which is kind of weird to me. I'm assuming that it's because of the chase. Okay. Indirect lines show like a lack of confidence. It shows that you are, you know, really worried about being rejected. That's where the direct lines, they show the real intent of the conversation, and it allows for the woman to choose whether or not this is an interaction that she wants to have. But studies show that indirect lines are actually more effective than direct lines. I am assuming it's because of the chase. The woman doesn't really know what you want, so she's curious, and it makes her interested, and it kind of draws her in a little bit. The next thing that studies show are that women looking for short-term relationships really don't care which type of line you use, as long as you are attractive, right? Remember, we talked about the woman that's looking for a short-term relationship. The type of message that you're conveying with your pickup line really doesn't matter to her, because she's not really interested in creating an authentic relationship with you in the first place. So for a person or a woman that is looking for a short-term thing, a fling, it doesn't matter what you say. So if you're looking for a short-term fling, be confident in knowing that it doesn't matter what you say to her, as long as she is attracted to you physically. Remember, it's short-term. It's an affair. It's probably some type of fantasy she's trying to, you know, to fulfill, or it just a short-term I don't know, need, sexual need that she may have, or financial need, whatever, But the short-term relationships, don't even worry about the type of pickup line you use. Just say something. Also, attractiveness wins over the type of line you use. So even if, okay, so in the case of both a woman that's looking for a long-term relationship and in the case of a woman looking for a short-term relationship, both women will take attractiveness over the type of line you use. However, let's go on. When having to choose between trustworthiness and attractiveness, women that are looking for long-term relationships will choose trustworthiness over attractiveness. So, for all you men that are worried about approaching a woman and being attractive, right? You don't have to worry about that, because a woman that's looking for a long-term relationship, studies show now that she's not worried about how attractive you are. What she's worried about is how trustworthy you are, how reliable and consistent you are. Can you provide? She may even be worried about the status, and status goes along with, being able to provide. What can you give to the relationship? So if you're looking for a long-term relationship, I would stick to using indirect or direct lines, because a woman looking for a long-term relationship is not worried about how attractive you are. And as we talked about before, using a flippant line or a humor line with a sexual undertone is not going to pull her in, because what you're actually conveying to her is the fact that you are selfish and all you're thinking about is her exterior, and that you are promiscuous, that you jump from woman to woman, and because you can use this line on any woman. And so again, if you're looking for that long-term relationship, stick to the indirect and indirect. Okay, now the last thing that I want to address before I close out this lesson is the fact that humor is important. I know that by me saying to you, don't use flippant lines because it conveys, selfishness, unreliability, and all these other negative types of traits. I'm not saying that humor is not important. That is not what I'm saying. Humor is important, but only when shown over a period of time during the initial encounter. Okay, so to lead off with that, not such a good idea, but to try and show a little bit of your funny side throughout the encounter, totally different. Women like humor. If you can make a woman laugh, you are already lowering her defenses, okay? But if you come off with that, it's just like, this guy is silly, he's not serious, and I'm looking for a serious relationship. So humor is important. It is important, but only when you chop it up over the duration of your encounter with the woman initially, okay? So now that you understand the psychology and the importance behind pickup lines, why it is so important, come on over to the website and I'm going to give you tips on how to approach the woman, what types of pickup lines are really good to use, and just some other things. Okay, so come on over to the website, come watch the extended. If you're not signed up for the relationship school membership, then go ahead and sign up for that, because that's the only way that you can see those extended videos. And right now, the relationship school membership is being given to you at a discount. Okay, so come over to the community, sign up. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you share this video with your friends, because I know that some guys are really confused when it comes to the psychology behind interacting with women and trying to pull them in and get the ones you want. Look, I'm here for you. I'm trying to help you. I want you to be happy. I want you to be free. The importance of knowing these sorts of things can be the difference between getting in a relationship with a woman that is going to be a relationship that you're going to be happy in, or getting into a relationship with a woman that is going to be a miserable experience in your life, okay? Picking the right woman, using the right techniques and strategies to get the woman you want will definitely pay off in the long run, okay? So please think of me as your personal coach and consultant. I hope to see you guys over in the community area. Also, don't forget that we have lives every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on the channel, okay? And it's a live question and answer session. We have so much fun. We talk about different topics. The last topic, I believe, was men faking orgasms. Hilarious. So yeah, make sure you show up for that. And until next time, I love you guys, and I will see you later. Mwah.